My friend is competing in AWC right now, and she's doing pretty good. Plays a warlock. There's a teacher on TikTok called Teacher Lindsay or whatever, and he's a dude that just reviews all the slang. Wow. All right. That's crazy. My God. All right, so live on the Discord and on Twitch in the general chat if you guys want to spectate in either way. I got my setup with all the nameplates fixed together. We have in the purple team Wally paired up with Holy Metsu as Shadow Priest and Retribution. Yuck. You guys can vomit or boo in the chat. On the other team in yellow, we have Dean mixed up with Valdinar playing Beastmastery and Shadow as well. Seen a lot of Shadow Priest in flavor of the month this season. We're going to see how well it works out. This map is typically known for the high ground advantage, but who knows? Wally is the wild card, so we'll see how this match plays out as the gates will open. Wally on anything. Both teams playing it safe right now. Holy Metsu not rushing forward. Dean Valadinar really stretching out the camouflage timer. Shadow crashes are traded. Silence goes on to Wally quickly as an ice trap picks up a little bit of downtime, disrupting Wally's burst. Here comes the wings from Wally, and Void Torrent is blasting. Actually, it gets interrupted, looks like, and Wally has to resort to just mind blasting into the turtle shield. Holy Metsu finally closing the gap on Dean. Dean is stunned and dispersed and regenerating a little bit of HP. A bubble as it comes out from Holy Metsu. Valdinar might be the next one to go down. And Wally gets to sit up on the high ground as anticipated and just free cast into enemy teammates. Dean has to come up with something. Is there even a win in this mix? And Dean falls next. Oh, wait. Look at my stream. What is this? What is this? What? What? Hidden stuff? Or is that the statue from Ashman's? Why is the Tiger's Peak fucking... What the fuck? Alright, and the gates will open. Purple team with a Wally and Holy Metsu coming charging out. Valdinar already playing it from Camouflage. Dean charges up the Halo. Wah! Shadow Crashes are traded from around corners. Don't know how that's possible. Blizzard, please fix. Hitting a stealth member from behind a pillar. I don't know. Please fix. Holy Metsu iced up. Wally sitting on the high ground but being punished for it instead. Trading Shadow Bolts. I think a few of them were faded in that salvo. Turtle Stance comes out pretty quick, but Holy Metsu sitting on full HP. Chillax doesn't give a fuck. Blinding Light comes through, locking up our teammates on the yellow with Dean and Valdinar just feeling that heat. Turtle Stance can't do squat because it's on cooldown. Wally and Holy Metsu just cleaning house as Dean has to cope with being a 1v2 in the second matchup. You do wash your hands? He's fighting it, you know. Am I missing the Q pop? Like, where is it? There it is. Alrighty. It's Foursquare, whatever. Foursquare and wall ball. In the yellow team, playing Shadow Priest and Demon Hunter. Soon to be Devourer. Demon Hunter with the Void update in midnight. We have Holy Tatas and SGX in the purple with the dustiest of pussies, Manic and Undusty. Crushing it on Unholy DK and what appears to be Survival Hunter, unless I'm tripping on drugs. Massive cleave. Holy Tatas lands one fear. Undusty is trying his best to thug it out in the cleave stack. Fear bombs flying everywhere. Icebound Fortitude might not be enough, plus the death strikes. And Holy Tatas slips away while Manic gets feared and CC'd for half the match. That's a good one. Let me write that down, huh? Alright, Dusty Pussy ain't Dusty no more, because they got fucked. I'll see you in court. For the second time in a row, we've traveled to the Shadowlands against our will. Repeat matchup, starting up for Manic and Undusty. SGX and Holy Tatas in the yellow team this time. What do we know about the win condition for Undusty and Manic? Well, not getting CC'd and using Icebound Fortitude probably a little earlier. That's half the win condition. Make sure yours stays above 0. That's the other one. Fuck it, we ball. And the gates will open. Let's see if we can find a win condition for Undusty and Manic to set this to best of 3. Up for a bit more spice for the viewer. Crazy Death Grip onto the Demon Hunter, charging in. Undusty tanking like a champion. Icebound Fortitude might actually have some value here as he's 50% already. It is a preventative spell, not a healing spell, so Undusty might just get iced here. IBF at 10% is not the wisest move, but Holy Tatas does get knocked down to 10%. If Mana can clean up and set this to a 1v1, he can still lose the 1v1 to the Demon Hunter because they can't die. Oh, Demon Hunter joins the Air Force and starts blasting Manic out in open space, and that's it for Team Dusty Pussy. Their luck has dried up. That's their team name? Big Lawnmower? All the winning teams appear to have Shadow Priests on them. I'm noticing a trend. If he uses IBF earlier, it can mitigate more damage at a higher health threshold and get value for it. Unholy DK has a lot of burst that's like front loaded, so if you get them in the trap, get them in the cleave, then you can start getting more value for the win condition. But if you do IBF at 10%, what are you mitigating at less than 1,000,000 HP? As a healer, all you need is a second monitor because you're going to be spending so much time in CC, you can catch up on movies you haven't watched. Right now, if you're watching, we're traveling in an ancient place that's been burnt to the ground. The ancient ruins of pre-burnt Darnassus, the Night Elf capital. And another Shadowlands arena. For the third time, I'm buying a lottery ticket after this. It's and the gates will open. Another Shadow Priest retcon position coming out the gate up against the classic Rogue Mage in the purple team. We see Karkov opening up Shadow Blades on top of Technique, trying to get value early in the game before cooldowns start to be reset in about 2 minutes from now. Northstar blinking around, but is getting punished heavily. I don't know if Technique actually predicts and lands the Mass Dispel, causing Northstar to fucking short circuit and panic and shit his britches as Challenger just runs up and ices him. And Karkov forfeits the match? Holy shit. Gauge of Carnage. I believe this is a BFA. Yeah, there we go. More within. Optimized for range play. It's like a gnome drowning in a puddle. And the gates will open. Now, Karkov, for the win condition here, just has to avoid typing /AFK or surrendering the match. Northstar cannot get his Ice Block dispelled this time, or there will be devastating results like last time. Perhaps there's a bit of a clever play with a Blast Wave for one of these players, as the Mage might take advantage with Knockback Tech. But it looks like Northstar is getting punished once again, but Technique slips down and is fucking around in the gutters. Here comes the Master Spell, encountering the Ice Block once again. Karkov, close your eyes, buddy. Don't look at your teammate losing the game. Just stay in it, brother. Don't tilt. Challenger is rushing down the Mage. Double stun. Karkov coming in with a secret technique, blasting Challenger down to 50% and gets life swapped with Technique. And Karkov is just itching for that surrender button. He stays in it. He stays in it. Even though he's slowed to hell and getting iced right now, he stayed in it this time. I can feel the tilt. I wonder what's in this cup. Ooh, look at that. They animated the fucking straw floating. Huh. But not this one, lazy fucks. There's 2 juices here, actually. Yeah, check this out. If you don't know, the bank is actually a bear made out of a tree with an eagle with its wings made out of leaves. This is what I do in between matches. I just I kind of zoom around the old world. Alright, we have 35 seconds before the match begins in the kitty cat cage of doom and carnage. What do you mean that's not what anybody calls it? Alright, Tiger's Peak. Where's Father Peace when I need him? In the yellow, we have Jabiso and Zerk playing what appears to be Frost Mage mixed with some flavor of Feral Druid, not the bear type. Other team, Mama's Milk and Sirius with Double Shadow Priest. We already know it's game over for the Mage with the Double Shadow Priest composition, but we might see the Feral actually upset the match's result. Mama Milk getting focused down quickly, up front, First, fails the dispersion. Oh, life swap. Double disperse. Gets into the poly. Still a puff of smoke. Getting blasted by Zerk. Feral Druid up the ass of Mama's Milk. Not letting them have any fun. Slips into bear form and is silenced. Mama's Milk is out of defensives and maybe out of options. Jubiso might be out of health soon if he keeps getting free casted on by Sirius, and the polymorph comes through and disrupts it. Now down to a 1v1 with Zerk's ice block still in the pocket. The alter time might give back a little bit of value. Pops from 10 to 50%, and here comes the ice block. Sweet bait into a mass dispel Dragon's Breath. Gets some distance with the blast wave, but I don't know. Will the mirror images actually be enough to mitigate the damage coming through as Zerk is silenced and out of options? Is there a cauterize? No, he's playing Frost. Down Zerk goes. You know what is most remarkable to me about looking at these zones is I really love it when I see people questing. It reminds me of the Barrens when you used to make a road buddy. You would just not say anything for like miles and go on your way to farming zebras or some shit. Exactly. Nowadays, it feels like there's like a couple things happening. At the start of an expansion, like there's this boom of activity, and you see people that you want to meet and talk with and socialize with and make new friends. And then it goes into seasons 2 and 3. Seasons 2 and 3, basically this large death ball of productivity or AFKing in the city is kind of what happens. But this is where I have to pay respects to every officer in this guild, and Pump and Druzak, the people who give life to this game, even when it's in its downtimes, are the leaders and the captains that step up to give something for us to do and be bonded. So big thank you to you guys. Hey, dude, don't slip off the chair because you got to stay locked in because the gates are open. Zerk and Jubiso going against Sirius and Mama's Milk. Quick dash over to Mama's Milk with a stun. Follow up. Trinkets that early. Retaliates with the stun. Jubiso getting blasted. Sirius switching targets now. Double teaming onto Jubiso. Fat stun onto Mama's Milk. I think is still pocketing Dispersion. Walled off, and Zerk trying to follow up with his teammate. Absolutely 200 IQ gameplay. This is why he has Arcane Intellect. Buffing it. Now all that's left to do is for Jubiso to pretend he's still playing tank as Sirius dumps damage into the wrong players. Zerk is mopping up from ranged. Dispersion comes through, but it might not be enough. If Shadow Priest manages the 1v2, oof, I would say please nerf. But Zerk and Jubiso even out the score 1-1. Now, this thought was actually brought on by the fact that I'm going through these zones that we have so much nostalgia for, right? And I would give anything to see people walking around Warlords of Draenor, but we all know it's not going to happen. I'm out here in dead zones with nobody in them. Most activity I see organic activity with like no groups, just people like bumming it, has to be world quests and war crate farms. Those are the only things I see. Goldshire Durtar doesn't count too much. That's like sitting on your front lawn having a barbecue. You know, you're just waving at the neighbors. Like trade chat adjacent. That's what Goldshire and Duratar are. It's trade chat adjacent. Yeah. Alright. And the gates are open. Jubiso got blood on his snout. He only has eyes for Mama's Milk. Picking out the weak gazelle from the herd. Although Mama's Milk is completely walled off, Jabiso slamming his face into the wall to try and cut through and grab that tasty gazelle. Has to switch targets, not by choice, but by convenience, as Cereso is the closest thing he can bite onto. Jabiso landing a lot of damage and switches targets once again. There's the Skull Bash that closes the gap. What is Zerk doing on the side? Putting Sirius into cat form against his will with the polymorph. Now Sirius has to 1v2 once again, as Mama's Milk has been dropped out of the match. What's it going to be? Sirius does have massive cooldowns up. Gets the fear. Zerk interrupts it. Sirius is getting pounded on. Roasted in the Meteor's flames. Really was. All right. Inside of the Legion remaster of Blade Grand Arena. I guess the only remaster part here is giving it extra polygons and nicely dressed brown orcs. Let's see what's underneath, actually. Oh, nothing. Just more to Grand. Alright, flying out the gate on Demon Hunter, Shadow Priest, SGX, and the Holy Tata is up against Wally and the Holy Metsu himself. Shadow Crash is being traded. SGX charging across, gets whiffed and around the corner. Blur is up, and so is Power Infusion. Crazy high haste. I-Beam comes in at half the cast time. Mother of God, that was fast. SGX getting blasted down by Holy Metsu, and Wally with the damage. Hyper-focusing his health bar, crashing from 100% to 30, bouncing back up to 40 with the darkness down, and gets feared out of it. LOL, XD. And SGX might be going down for the count as Holy Tatas has to pick up the 1v2 against a Red Paladin, and Shadow Priest. The fear comes through, and it gets trinketed, bopped off. Holy Tatas is saying ta-ta and gets sent to the Shadow Realm. The fucking Murloc outfit. You gotta give people credit for these matches, by the way. As 2v2 arena, typically any arena gets paired with a healer. they last much longer. Comparing the 2v2 survival rates of this guild that are participating, these are going on significantly longer than any skirmish or low CR 2v2 that gets absolutely ended in a second because a warrior bops the shit out of somebody. Massive props to the competitors, by the way, for making these as long and entertaining as they are. The gates will open. Alright, let's zoom this out real quick. Wally lining it up on the line of sight to block Holy Tatas. Getting nice and comfortable in the side to free cast. Coming up behind Holy Tatas, who doesn't have their camera set to fish eyes or pigeon face. Can't see behind him. Wally gets the sneak up on Holy Tatas. Now the health bars are kind of evening out as SGX is coming back down from his NASA space program application. Although Holy Metsu still has a lot of shit to pocket, damage might be fat. Here comes Wake of Ashes up next, and Holy Tatas actually blocks a bit of it with the darkness, but it's not enough. Team 6-7. Let's get it. On the purple team, we have Challenger Technique playing Shadow Priest and Rhett. In the yellow, we have ourselves Zerk on the Frost Mage and Jabiso playing Kitty Cat. The gates will open. Technique Riding out, trying to pick up some damage on Zerk early. Fades, Shadow Crash. Polymorph gets interrupted or missed completely. Challenger sitting in turtle stance, not a common paladin form. Zerk getting ham blasted down to 10% quickly. Alter time doesn't do jack or shit, and Technique predicts the ice block and takes Zerk out of the game with the perfectly timed Master Spell. Jubiso now spending enough time to watch the Avengers Endgame movie, sitting in CC. Best 2 out of 3. Shadow Priest and Rhett might go on to fight Team 6-7 later on. We have to see who is the best Shadow and Rhett combination. Take a quick tour of the scenic location known as Black Rook Hold. Oh, Jesus Christ. It is black and it is made of rook. Okay. I don't know why that was so funny to me. Fuck. The gates will open and Technique comes out with the Shadow Crash early, takes Zerk out of stealth. Challenger doesn't even care, knows exactly where this goober is, and comes up with a Wake of Ashes and knocking him down quickly from 100 to 40% HP. The Master Spell comes out fast. Value for Ice Block might have been pretty good here. Zerk realizes that using it defensively is just not going to get him a lot of points, although having 0 HP is worth no points. Technique and Challenger just keep up the pressure so fucking high that there's really no fighting it. What is the win condition against this composition? I don't know. It certainly isn't Bear Form and Cyclone Spam. Alrighty, ladies, gentlemen, guys, pals, This is it. You've been watching the MDGA Mega 2v2 tournament, hosted by the biggest of dongs, Mr. Pump and Shocky. This Discord stream has been an honor to voice cast for you. And the gates will open. As things heat up in the beginning of the match, Shadow Crashes are traded, immediately opening with Hand of Freedom for the yellow team and a Sacrifice for Team Purple. Challenger and Technique looking for more defensive options. Challenger gets lit up with the Void Bolt Salvo. Holy Metsu for the first time in the entire tournament has actually had his HP drop below 50. Divine Bubbles are being traded. Wally getting pressed on. Lay on Hands getting sent to Wally. Wally might get blocked by Technique. Okay, absolutely genius play here. Issuing control, and Holy Metsu is already dead on the side. Challenger just had to time his bubble after Holy Metsu and then press him until he died. Wally now has to 1v2, and he might not get it. And actually chooses to forfeit. Check out this outfit real quick. I don't know if you guys heard the or felt the Discord chat shake, but I think from 3 channels down, Chillax is yelling at Wally. Now, knowing Chillax, it's not quite an earthquake. I believe the scientific term is a girthquake. Because that boy is thick.
We gather today to see which of these bandits.
Oh my God! Screenshot that. Talking mad shit Technique, and I quote, "Go Shadow Priest. His frontal lobe isn't fully developed." Challenger with the "Yes, sir. I take orders, sir." Okay. Wally may be feeling some pain out the rip in this matchup. We know that Holy Metsu got iced in the first one, and that's actually a strategic move, knowing Rhett can be a big playmaker. Having him taken out early and with lots of pressure can be the optimal play, but Wally getting absolutely age discriminated against in this fucking match. Void Torrent comes out quick, missed a target. Again, they said they're going Wally, but it looks like Holy Metsu is the one who's getting pressed into maybe clicking Divine Bubble. Sometime, somehow, there's the Divine Bubble. Challenger gets, I believe, pushed away gently. Having to decide on which target he wants to hit. Getting high value here, not dumping damage into Holy Metsu. The double is finally down. Thorn Shield was up for a moment. Wally free casting from the side. Challenger laying it into Holy Metsu. Now, things are mostly even. Challenger now has a 6-second window to get value, and Holy Metsu dies again. It's almost like it's scripted. The Paladin to bubble last is the one that wins, folks, and that's the big takeaway that I'm looking at here. And a massive congratulations goes to Challenger and Technique. What's their team name again? Big Lawnmower? Challenger Tech. Is it best of 5? Ooh. Okay. Now here's the thing. Ties. You know this is Tilted Chillax already, just looking at the name of it. Okay, take it serious. All right. In the yellow team with Wally and Holy Metsu coming up. High ground, secure technique, looking to shadow crash and trade. Sacrifice getting value early. Challenger taking a little bit of damage, but splitting it with technique. It looks like Holy Metsu has immediately dropped down to 20%, and he is looking to leave his teammate up high and dry to the Crocs. Wally takes a lot of damage and has to trade a defensive cooldown. Holy Metsu pressed again into using Divine Bubble super early into this match. Holy Metsu needs to get value desperately if he's going to contend with what's going on. He's kiting like a maniac, and Wally is free casting in the back. A life swap is clutch from Wally, but Holy Metsu, again, still needs some kind of defensive to keep him in this match. The stun is fat, and those 3 seconds aren't needed. He's just 2, and he's knocked out. Challenger is moving on to Wally, and technique basically ignored and locked up Wally. Didn't give a damn, and Holy Metsu just can't put hands up. He didn't even disagree. He's like, "Yep, that's facts, factual." Pliny, buddy, behave. Pliny flip flops so fast in the eye. He's like, "This dude fucks." Oh, he adopted. He delivered a small child from a life of isolation and emotional pain. I guess it's not as impressive as cream pie and his wife every day. Pliny, you a freak. Now I have a fucked up joke. Pliny, you'll like this one. Is part of Morgan's like terms of adoption fetching you beers? Is that why you called her name specifically? Yeah, it does.
Today, your cries of battle and the clash of your weapons will be.
And the gates are open for the losers bracket. I like that one. I'm gonna save it for later. I wish I had soundboard perms right now. Undusty bites the dust. Dean has to pick up this last player. Manic sits in turtle stance, whiffs the trap. Manic manages to get a couple shots in on Dean, but Dean mops up. You ever told a joke so funny HR really wanted to hear it super bad? Yeah. Schools? Okay. I think it's the onslaught of awful lowbrow humor. I'm gonna echo what we said maybe an hour ago. We have women and children in the chat. Golly. Alright, my wife is sneezing at a decibel level that I cannot ignore. Do we have any more game left of the night? Are we tapping out of games now? Heard that if you put your bong in the dishwasher, it'll make your dishwasher smell like weed. I saw the dumbest thing I could say besides if I vote for Kamala. Holy crap. Oh, they're good. You should try it. Slash AFK. Ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. How stupid can I get it to go? Let's see. Alright, you know what? This one will be commentated in Kermit the Frog here real quick. Alright.
And as the gates will open, Flying and Debo fucking fly out the gate. Flying takes the high ground, and Mama's Milk is just shooting rockets. Sirius finally tapping back into the game from Pornhub. Flying getting absolutely ham blasted by void bolts. Sirius slipped into dispersion, and Debo is following up. Rapid fire into the back of a priest.
All right, I can tell the night's finally winding down. All right, this is the last one for me. Last one for me. You just fought that team, bro. Pliny, you know you're not logged into Final Fantasy or League of Legends. Okay. And Swedish Chef has entered the arena. Purple dim. Bliney locked up in a bunch of CC, can't seem to bubble out of it with the silences as aggressive as they are. Spellbop comes up and Mama Smoke immediately slips into dispersion. Depot looking for a way to line up some damage on the Sirius or Mama's Milk. It appears that the binding shot comes through. The value is fat. Dispersion blocks off Debo's assault, and he goes straight back to Mama's Milk, putting him in the dirt. But the fucking life swap comes in crazy fast, and Sirius sacrifices his life for his teammate. Mama's Milk is the next to fall as the stun takes away most of his HP, and a straight-up airborne headshot from Debo knocks Mama's Milk out the game. All right. That was it for me, gentlemen. Have a beautiful rest of your night. Oh, a pleasure, a pleasure. Hey, I'm getting off for the night. Stopping by to say goodnight, everybody.